Have to ask, last minute prediction. Um, Liam Paro versus Richardson Hitchens. I know that you wanted to speak on the fact that you saw him in amateurs throughout your career. Now he finally has a world title opportunity. It's a very tough Australian fighter who's off of essentially the boogeyman victory, right? Beat Matthias. So, how do you see this fight playing out?
Um, I feel like Africa's gonna get the job done. Cause man, I seen him coming up in amateurs, and he used to have to sell chocolate to get to tournaments, and it's like he's so hungry, and you can never count them type of fighters out. People are judging him off his last fight, but Gustavo Lemos is a beast. He came in there to win that night, and he Africa had to bite down and get that fight. So I'm not sleeping on Paro, but I just feel like Hitchison is levels ahead of him, in my opinion. Like I feel like we should see sharp boxing tonight.
When you said you seen him in the amateurs, like how was he and like what was the type of competition he had to go through? Because he was essentially an Olympic alternate, I believe.
Yeah. Um, I remember the first time I've ever seen him was 2015 or four. It was 2015. I seen him win the because I won it as well. We both won the ringside world championship. And then I remember like a couple months later, him and T.O. I don't know if they were in the same weight class, but him, T.O., and a couple other guys, Shakur, they all came to Colorado for the Olympic qualifiers, and they all won. I think Africa won that one, but I don't know if it was some with his age. I know for sure with Teofimo Lopez, his age, they changed the age restriction, so he had to go fight for Honduras. But Africa, he fought a lot of top amateurs from the US, and like I feel like he one of the best fighters in the world. He just somebody that's I feel like slept on too.
you know, um, I'm sure that people are going to expect him to have like a great boxing exhibition, and obviously you're going to be favoring his ability to box him. Is there anything that worries you a little bit on his opponent, Liam Paro going into this fight? Because I think a lot of people see him as the favorite, obviously because of the performance he just came off of.
Um, I don't know. I feel like maybe his sneaky combination punching because he throws punches in bunches, and but I don't know. I've only seen him fight Montana Love in the last fight against Matias. So
Mhm.
I don't really know too much about him, but I've seen a little bit, and Matias and Montana Love are two different fighters in Africa. So um I don't know. We just have to see tonight, but I think Africa gets the job done.
I know throughout, not for this camp, but throughout his career, he sparred Shakur and Devin. So, the
Yeah.
slick style defensively, he's a little bit shorter than like Devin and I'm assuming Hitchens as well. But I'm expecting maybe he's going to have to be aggressive, right? And
Yeah. I've seen Africa, Shakur, and Keyshawn spar at my old gym in 2018. So I know he's one of the top fighters in the world. Like I seen him in there with the best. So, I think he gets the job done tonight.
do you think that Gustavo Lemos fight was just kind of just a one fight that was very close in many people's eyes that doesn't
Yeah, it
truly
was
represent?
definitely. I feel like it was definitely a close fight, but that's kind of like they always say you're only as good as your last fight or your last performance, so that's what everybody's judging him off of. But they're not talking about all the other fights that he dominated in. Like that
Hmm.
was like his only close fight in my opinion. Other than
Hmm.
that, he's like dominated his whole career.
Yeah, that balls of fight that he had, that he was practically
Man, I
beating.
just watched that fight. He cooked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you expect maybe that people wouldn't be, how would I say it? You shouldn't be surprised if he had a performance like that against a guy like Leon Parra tonight.
Yeah, and I know he took training serious, like because they know this is the world title fight, so he took his training serious. His last fight, they were saying that the weight, he didn't listen to his people on the weight side of things, so that kind of affected him. But this fight, I feel like he knew he had to take everything 100% serious.
I know that the rehydration clause for competing for the IBF is, first time doing for him to deal with that. And, he's essentially a tall guy for 140. So with some of those circumstances out of the way and they get it, you're expecting by tonight and the new.
Yeah, for sure. And then on the Valdez card, I'm thinking Espinosa's gonna win at the 126.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see him in a couple of years.
What do
or
you mean?
whoever's the champ at 126.
Is
Yeah.
that like a
Wh-
subtle like
yeah.
yeah,
Like
I
or
want
whoever
that.
whoever's the champ at 126 in about 3, 4 years, I'm coming from.
That's a tall guy, you know. That's a
Yeah. Yeah, but in the amateurs, I mean, the amateurs and the pros is different, but I fought at 140 in the amateurs and I was holding my own against the best in the world, so I'm not worried.
What do you think about Espinosa as a fighter after that performance he had, that war between um Robisi?
And you got to be in shape. You got
Mhm.
to be in shape against him. He threw it like 1,000 punches. So with fighters like that, I feel like skills pay the bills. If as long as I'm in shape, I know for sure I'll get the job done. Just got to be in shape to deal with all them punches that he's throwing.
You think Robisi can crack the code in this rematch? Because he's a gold medalist, Cuban fighter, trains with a solid team of Solace, power. He has power also. You think he could also, or you got Espinoza in this rematch?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Espinoza pulls it off. Like, in the last fight, it's like Espinoza got his ankle hurt when he got dropped, and he got back up and won. I'm like, for him to get injured during the fight and still get up and win, that just let me know. Like, I don't see what too much more Robesi could do to win the fight.